something waiting in me. I got something waiting in me. I got something waiting in me. Got it, got it, got it. Got it, got it, got it. Something in me. Got it, got it, got it. Got it, something waiting in me. Got it, something, something. Got it, something, got it in me. Got it, something. Got it, something within me. Got it, something. Got it, something, got it, something within me.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, Biafrans all over the world. I want to welcome each and every one of us to this wonderful evening program. I want to say welcome, and we'll be waiting for Professor CHINEDU AGBODIKE. And while we do so, we'll see if we can some of our songs here. And see what's up, guys. Today, War Gladiator, Friday evening program every Friday, and I hope that CHINEDU AGBODIKE joins us any moment from now. Let's see if we can take some other programs wait for Professor. We'll be able to talk about. But meanwhile, I want us to talk about the onions that the onions that is being also restricted from coming to Biafra land. In these few days, we've seen the Fulanese decided not to bring onions to the region, and I see Ohaneze Ndị Igbo making comments, complaining, telling us that it is an attack on the Igbos because the Fulanese have decided not to bring onions any longer to our region. And I start to question the leadership of Ohaneze Ndị Igbo once again, because if the Fulanese decide that they are not bringing onions to us, then why can't we go into the farming? Why can't we go into onions cultivation? What does it cost us to go into the cultivation of onions in Biafra land? So these are the things we should be talking about. I hope that Professor CHINEDU AGBODIKE joins us. And I noticed that the network keep cracking. So if you're having difficulties getting me, please let me know. Let me know. If you are having difficulties getting me, please let me know. Today we'll be talking about the ban of onions by the North, that they say they are no longer bringing onions down south. And I sent it out on my page on Facebook that the ban of onions is an opportunity. Is an opportunity. If the Northerners decide that they are no longer going to supply onions to the South, then it's an opportunity for our people to go into that area of farming. And that is why we continue to bring this program on a weekly basis, to keep the mind of our people abreast, because we saw all these things coming. And that was what pushed us into the program on Black and White Web TV, and also connecting at the same time with Biafra Television. Because the war we are fighting now is not just the war of guns and bullets and bombs and all that. It is also part of economic war. And our people must live up to the responsibility. Our people must live up to the responsibility to understand that every opportunity must be taken advantage of. We cannot be begging Northerners about bringing food supply to us. Not that this food supply comes free or cheap. We pay for them. So why should we be, Ohaneze Ndị Igbo, be begging and making political statement about supply of onions, when Ohaneze Ndị Igbo is supposed to encourage our people to go into onions farming, that everything can grow in Biafra land. Everything can grow in Biafra land. Everything can grow there. So why should we be complaining when opportunity opens up for itself? We don't have any reason to complain. We don't have any reason to complain. We should be able to read in between the line and take advantage of every opportunity that comes our way, rather than sitting back, Ohaneze Ndị Igbo and co, men with no foresight, just sit back and be complaining about onions. These are the issues that we should be dealing with right now. How do we grow onions in the land? What are the things that are required? And while we wait for Professor CHINEDU AGBODIKE, we just have to, deal with these issues and learn to understand that at every point in time, opportunity come in different ways. When you have difficulties, when you have challenges, it should give you the opportunity to reflect and think of how to come out of such challenges or difficulties. It doesn't give room for complaint. It doesn't give room for regret or whatsoever. We have what it takes to grow every kind of vegetable in our land. We can grow cucumber, we can grow carrot, we can anything. If we can grow cucumber and carrot and all these vegetables, then what stops us from growing onions? By now, we shouldn't be depending on the north for our onions. Not for any reason. We shouldn't be depending on the north for our onions. And I can tell you that you can grow your onions in bags, in cement bags. Even around your compound. You don't necessarily have to dig the soil and all that process. You can grow your onions in cement bags. And this is the thing we've been teaching our people here. You can grow garlic, you can grow ginger, you can grow all these things in cement bags, in 50 kg cement bags. So what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? If every household can grow onions, we might know we don't necessarily have to need the north to supply us onions, because these are the things, very simple things we can do for ourselves. You can actually grow onions around as a garden, as a flower, you know, and so many other items that come from those northern regions. Opportunities are opening by the day. If at this point in time we are still crying over onions that comes from the north, then what is the sign that we really need freedom? What is the sign that we need freedom if we cannot provide simple onions? One of the simplest vegetable you can get, you know. So these are the things we must face. These are the things we must face. We must face the reality of this moment, that at this point in time, if we can you know, have the technological power to even produce things that are greater than onions. So what is onions? Why should we be complaining each time the north say, oh, we are banning this food stuff? It gives an opportunity. It creates job for our people. It creates job for our people. We have the soil. We have the mechanism as well, you know, to even get the best product, not a contaminated product. By the time the onions travel all the way from north down south with all the heat and all the whole protocol, some of them must have been contaminated along the way. I used to trade north when I was quite very young, and I know the process, the traveling process, the distance, you know, what we have to go through to get to north to get some of these food stuff down south. And at this point in time in our lives, we shouldn't, the cost of that traveling is even more expensive. It's cheaper to do those farming in our land than taking all the risk, especially with this insecurity all over the place. Boko Haram here and there, kidnappers, Fulani herdsmen, kidnapping people. So if you get kidnapped on the way because you are looking for onions in the north, what is going to be your story? If you get kidnapped on the way because you are looking for beans or groundnut in the north, what will be your fate? You know, so we should put all these things into consideration. When we used to travel north those days, the roads were free at least. We can say, okay, people were only afraid of armed robbers. But today you have different kind of insecurity, especially in that north. So why should we be depending on the food that will come from an insecure environment when we know that the only way for you to even get a steady supply is when security is guaranteed? So our people should wake up and, you know, take up this challenge and live up to their responsibility. Why should we, for any reason, be hoping that for the rest of our life we are going to depend on northern Nigeria, the Arewa, to supply us all our food? For how long are we going to do that? For how long are we going to depend on Almajeri to supply the food that we eat when we have empty land all over the place? And these days, you don't even need much land to do your farming. We have been teaching you in this program how you can farm using cement bags, using different mechanisms, using different procedures that you can even farm without ceasing. And you regulate the water, you regulate all the nutrients you give to your crops. These are the things we've been teaching. And we do not expect that after 1 year of this program, we are still crying over a blockade of onions from the north. Let me welcome Professor CHINEDU AGBODIKE. Professor, good evening and welcome to the program.
Thank you, viewers, and thank you, Brother Patrick.
Yes, thank you, Professor. We've been talking about the ban of onions from the north in recent time, and I was telling our people that it will be a very shameful thing that we cannot produce enough onions that can serve the eastern region at this point in time, Prof.
We can, because we can produce anything, both the ones in Europe and the ones within the tropical region. We can grow onion in empty 50 kg bags. You can grow thousands of them and feed even the whole Africa. And we have been able to help a lot of people to develop this possibility. So you don't need rain, you don't need manures. All you need is just pig dung plus topsoil. Mix them, allow it to ferment for 4 days. Put it inside your empty bags. You can plant Irish potato. You can plant yam and corn in the sand, and they sites and plant whatever I can. So we cannot continue to give excuse. New things have been developed to help us and fast harvests. For example, if you plant yam on ordinary ground, it will take 6 to 7 months, but inside 50 kg bags, it will take 4 to 5 months. So we have found faster way to get this is done. So we don't need even fertile soil. I went to Badagry last week. It was sandy, salty soil, but we're going to convert it into a habitable place. You know, Israel was a desert. You know, Libya was a desert, and so on and so forth. They turned it into agricultural brotherhoods, and they're able to do things. So what I'm telling you is that you don't need to cry wolf when there are no wolves. You can, even if you don't have land. Now, one thing about having much land is that if you need land, we can give it to you free for 25 to 35 years, on 25% to the owners of the land and 75% for you, the investors. We can do that for you. Now, if you need assistance or training, we do that freely. So don't tell me, don't excuse, because we're not telling you that you don't need any fertilizer, artificial fertilizer. They're killing us, they're killing our crops, they're killing our insects, they're killing our crickets, they're killing earthworms. The things they're killing us so much, and they're killing our health. So we now have developed even your personal urine, but this personal urine has to be fermented for 4 days before you water it, then put it into the farm. So you don't even need the rain. And the land, the manures is regulated, and the rain is regulated inside the empty bags. So with this, you can feed the nation. You don't even need caterpillars, you don't need hoe, you don't. I want you to tell you, in ancient time, let's not say ancient time, 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s, every family has the capacity to feed themselves. Every family can feed the members of the families. Everybody has yam farm. Everybody has farm, even within the compound where they put wall around. So I don't see why we keep giving excuses. We were not depending on anybody before. It's time we rise and start cultivating all the long-time furrowed farmlands. That's where you grew up from. That's what you ate. That's what you are. And you are not telling me that if you don't import, you cannot produce. I wish everything that is producible in our soil, I wish everything is banned, so that we'll see whether you will starve or you go back to the farm and get things out there through the system we have developed. We're not talking about hoe and knife. We're talking about the system that you don't even need to weed grass. So don't see yourself dependent, whereby somebody is holding your stomach, somebody is holding your freedom. Anybody who is feeding you, freedom is latent. He will continue to sell or do whatever he likes. He continues to be a monopolist. He can increase the price any day, can reduce the price, he can say, I don't want to supply you. Why don't you try the means and the systems we have developed here so that we can have much more food than you can think of? We also develop preparation for preservations, for processing and marketing. And all the processing machines were done here. We didn't even import any one of them. Marketing, packaging, and the rest of them, they were all done here. Designs, they were all done here. We did everything here. So you don't tell me that until you import from China or import from whatever country, from whatever state, whatever. If I were to rule, I would tell every state to be independent. They should be able to produce. Any nation that cannot produce, feed, and heal the nation, heal their citizens, that nation should not exist at all. That's what I believe in, because we have enough. Nature has blessed us with 24/7 farming system and all the year-round farming system. There's nothing like dry season any longer. There's nothing like overrain. One thing about this rain here is that our rain falls too much. Too much rain can spoil the farm. But when you regulate it through this system of empty bag farming, and there are 2, 3 million, 4 million of us farming, it is better than 2,000 or 1,000 big farmers. If 5 million people are farming, that's why I gave this example. If one ant is to carry a cell phone up the vertical wall, it cannot. But when 5 million ants come, they will carry it up. When more hands are on deck, we will be able to achieve this and stop giving any further excuse that we have to import, we have to bring. Importation has become a fever. It has become a terminal disease in our system. We need to start doing something. I do not import anything in my own compound. I farm from my compound, I eat from my compound. The only thing I try to get outside from Abakaliki is the salt, the Abakaliki salt. That's the only thing. I get my oil from my compound. I get my vegetables and greens and all whatever from my compound. My yam is the compound. My rice is not in the compound. It's at our rice I produce here. I don't import anything imported any longer. We produce our apple, English apple from our compound. We produce our grape from our English grape from our compound. We produce strawberry from our compound. So you can do that. It does not necessarily mean that you have to have very large compound. 2 plots is even too much. And then half a plot is too much. Even 20 feet by 20 feet is enough for you to farm through this system of empty bags. So let us not give any further excuse. If you need training, we give you free. If you invite me, I'll be there to guide you to get this thing done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you very much. Somebody have been disturbing me about this goat. There is a brother that has been bugging me over the goat farm, and I told him I'll be bringing our brother.
Let's talk about goat farm. What was raining last year and a few years ago was goat from South Africa that gives birth to 7. Now, let me tell you something about these animals. When you remove animal from its natural habitat to another place, there will be a problem. Just like you traveling from here to Europe or from Koda area, there will be a problem in your body. These animals do not actually withstand. What I believe in is what we do here. For example, we get a goat that normally gives back to 4. We start feeding it with a special grass, fertile grass. There's so many, you have to learn this. We start feeding it with those grasses and start taking care of them, giving them water when they need, taking care of their health. At the end of 1 year, we found out the goat that normally gives back to 4 has started giving back to 6. So you don't wait and go and get the goat, import the goat that gives back to 7, because I want to tell you from experience, they normally die. Most of those who rush into this, they normally die. I'll tell you something about our pig in Okigwe, our piggery in Okigwe. We got our pig, we crossbreed them, then we teach them how not to fight. Well, I wish they can show you online what we did to our pigs. Today, our pigs give birth, first birth is 9, second one is 12 to 18, third one is 24. At once it gives birth to 24, it becomes diminishing return. What we do is to kill the female pig. So this is what we have done. Try and work and experience. Our corn, corn maize, we brought the seed, we soak it in earthworm urine, earthworm liquid. Soak it overnight and leave it. The next day it germinates. We allow it to germinate outside before we plant it, so to reduce the stress in the corn. At the end, it gives you 4, 5, 6, 11, 12 bundles of corn in one seed of a corn. The same thing with our rice. We tried, experimented on them. The first rice gave us 45 seeds. Now our rice gives to 1,450. And one thing about our rice in Umumbo is that you can harvest the same rice twice. These things are done, not magic. It's not something you just go and take and then grab and start having go to give you 7. Try to acclimatize them, try to make them natural, try to make them so that your environment, they will become habitat of that environment you are. They will be able to produce according to the level of treatment and trainings you gave them and feeding you gave them, so that they become natural in that environment, than to go and bring something from. I'm not abusing those who import from South Africa, the goat that gives birth to 7. But what we have done now, we have got goat now that give back to between 6, 5, and 7. We have not got all of them to be giving back to 7, but it became 5, 6, and 7. But they all breed, we bred them here, we grew them here, we developed them here. What I believe in, and what you should believe in, is to do something different. Don't do things the usual way. If you do things the usual way, you get unusual results. But if you do things the normal way, you get normal results. But if you do things on normal, we get abnormal results. So we don't allow things to become stagnant. The same way we saw it, the same way it will go. We need to improve by experiment. A farmer should keep on experimenting. So we need to do things unusual way so that we'll be able to obtain unusual results. So if you see what we're doing in our farms, we are trying out several ways. Knowledge is not stagnant. Knowledge is not static. Knowledge is dynamic. So you must look out for dynamism. You must be able to try to experiment. Not to, every day you are doing the same thing your forefathers did. You are not a forefather. You are a present person, a living organism, and a living organism must grow in knowledge, in experimentation, in advancement. So you just have to keep on farming and making some experiments and going through what we are going through, so that you will be able to. And if you don't know, we come and train you. After we have trained you, you can improve from our training. There are other people we have trained that they have gone farther than what we trained them to be. So most important is just to start. Let us start the farming first. Then the others can follow in. They need the trainings, the visitations, and what we have found out is that some people actually just want to be listening. The most important thing is not to talk. Talk the talk and walk the walk. Let us see people walking the talk, not just talking, not just speaking. As of today, rice has jumped up. Gary has jumped up. Gary was 200 naira. It's now 1,002 to 2,000 naira. Everything is going up and up and up. Farming has become a lucrative business. All you need to do is to get involved. Get involved, because farming will give you the money you are looking for abroad. Farming is a greener pasture. Farming is better than oil. Farming is better than petroleum. Think about that. One coconut goes for 300 naira. One cucumber goes for 200 naira. One yam goes for 700 to 800 naira. Check them. One bottle of palm oil goes, that is 1 liter, goes for 900 naira. But what about 1 liter of petrol? It is still 100 or something naira. Compare that. So what is actually your crude oil? Your crude oil is farm, where you came out from. Your crude oil is farm. People are hungry. People need food. So that is why I'm giving this seminar, teaching people, come back, let's go to the farm. Let's go to the farm and bring out what is there and feed Enugu State alone. Let's talk about Enugu State and different states we have in the eastern region. or southeast or whatever you term them, Anambra alone can feed the whole Africa. There are enough land. Enugu State alone can feed the whole Africa. There's enough land there. And all we need to do is to make use of the fallowed land, farm there, produce food for the nation. And the mystery about producing natural organic food is that they're healers. They can heal you from terminal diseases. They can heal you from cancer. They can heal you from HIV. They can heal you from diabetes. They can heal you from some of the diseases you're going through. It's because most of the food you're consuming, they're all GMO. They're all inorganic, artificial food. That's what you're eating. And that's why your system is running down. So a farmer who cannot take care of his health is not a good farmer. We don't use artificial fertilizer. We don't use that. We use our own body, organic manure from our urine and from earthworm. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. The video I try to show are videos of the food blockade that we had earlier, sometime 2 months ago. And today we're having another food blockade again. Is it not enough for people to understand that this food blockade is done on purpose to see how they can weaken our resolve, Prof?
Yeah, one of the weapons of war actually is starvation. Let me tell you what I've said before, that the soldiers in the front fighting, if you kill them, they will bring more. I'm talking about general war all over the world. But if you go back to where the soldiers came from and stop the farmers from going to the farm, stop them from going to the market with bombs, and starve the people from food, the soldiers will go back, they will not fight again. The real war is economic war all over the world. If you see where there is war, there will be starvation. That's the next thing. Why is that starvation? Because everybody is afraid of going to the farm. So the real war on this planet Earth is economic war. That will be stopping the farmers from producing. Because as long as the farmers are producing and the soldiers are eating, or the armies are eating, whatever they are, those who are in war front are eating, they will continue to fight. It's not the weapon that does the destruction. It's the usage. It's the usage of ideas or strategies that gives you victory in war. So actually, the rating going on right now in many nations, not only where we are, is that some people are starving, are dying, and because of that, they cannot create, they cannot be useful in society, they will not be able to contribute economically or mentally to the growth of that society, and that society becomes irrelevant. Poverty will continue to be. This is my place at Badagry, our cucumber farm, and you can see thousands of them. You see me on the background there in black suits. So we go to many places. I went to Badagry. This is in Ikorodu town, sorry, at a place called Ikorodu town. So we go to many places to teach, to enable people have the farm done. I went to Abuja, I went to Badagry, I went to Olo, I went to so many places in Enugu. I went to Inteje, I went to Anako. I've been going to many places, and I keep going from one place to another so that we'll be able to get these trainings, get these people ready to be able to produce what we can eat. And we are trying, we are producing, we are doing, in fact, we are doing, if we are not doing well, we have been starving by now. So that is what I'm saying. If we are not doing well, the food prices in the market would have increased more than we have it today. We have them today. So let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, those who are listening to me, the biggest business on earth is farming. Most of the millionaires you see on earth, all of them have gone into farming. Farming does not necessarily go into the ground. It could be processing, it could be packaging, it could be marketing, it could be, you know, supply of machines, and so many other things can be involved in farming. Farming is not just this. You can even be doing animal husbandry. You can be doing honey. That is production of honey. So farming is all embracing. It's all we can employ all the youths. If you farm everywhere, you will not need. There will be no young man that will not have a job to do. That is what farming is all about. Everybody can. Everybody can can be deployed in the farm. That is exactly what farming is all about. Everybody can get a job. Everybody becomes employed. There will be no lazying about. There will be no job. Everybody has something to do. Farming is from all the clothes you're wearing on your body now, all the eyeglasses, all the whatever you have today. They all came from the farm. Your sandals, your shoes, your bags, everything. They came from the farm. They didn't come from petrochemicals. Very few, like plastics, like wigs, and very few things come from petrochemicals. Even petrochemical is farming.
Even the plastic come from the rubber that we tap.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So now look at it now. Those who want to farm castor oil. If you have 60 plus of castor oil, I'm telling you, you can make 10 million naira per annum there. Why? Without castor oil, there will be no air conditions, there will be no stabilizers, there will be transformers, there will be no airplane flying in the air. All those things are needed from castor oil. Castor oil can be used also as ogri, which we are now producing. Ogri is meant to replace sodium bicarbonate, and we will be able to use it to feed ourselves, to do to our stews, to our rice, as our forefathers used to do. We can produce and other crops so that we can feed ourselves with organic materials. Now, if you are going to farm with us, we like you to produce the food for your fish, produce the food for your chicken, produce the food for your pigs, so they all be organic. We don't want you to go and import anything. We want you to use the ones you have, you can produce on your own farm, so that you make sure that what you're feeding your animals or what you're feeding your crops, they are all 100% organic. That is exactly what we're teaching people here. So I hope that with this, you will be able to ask me anywhere, call me, I will be in your place, I will teach you, I will guide you, whether you want to do outdoor farming or within an environment, empty 50 kg bag farming. So, or whether you do industrial farming like using crane, caterpillars, and the rest of them, it depends. You don't have to be industrialized to be able to make enough. A farmer who has 2 plots of land, ordinary 2 plots of land, can make more than 10 to 15 million naira per annum. All we need to do is to guide you how this thing can be done. Farming is one of the greatest businesses on earth, and nothing can be compared with it. It is something you don't lose. There are no losses on them. It's something you watch nature grow for you. If you give nature what nature wants, and nature will reply you in thousands. I think when you plant one seed and that seed produces 45, you see the ratio, the multiplication of the fund you are going to get. So we are asking you to join us in farming. The soap you are wearing, you are using for bath, the perfume, everything you have in you or outside you or you are using, they're all from the farm. And somebody is doing that. So you can specialize in any area. Farming is all encompassing, it's everywhere, it's everything. Farming is you and you are farming. So if you are a religious person, if you read your scriptures or you read your Quran or read whatever you read, you find out that the Almighty God, those who worship God, those who believe in Him, told the creations to go back to the farm. That's where your life is. But what we do now, we are looking for a white-collar job. There are no jobs for white-collar any longer. What we have now is job of the brain, the mind, and creativity.
Well, even the white-collar job depends on the farm.
Yeah, the white-collar job is from the farm because that white shirt is from the farm. And whatever you're wearing is from the farm. The air conditioner you're using is from the farm. Everything you have is from the farm.
For you to actually be successful in your white-collar job, you need to eat and refresh your body. You need to have good health. And all the components that keeps you running to be able to even survive as a white-collar jobber or worker comes from the farm. So you can, at the end of the day, you cannot run away from the reality of that farm.
Yeah, and you need organic food. You need organic food. You don't just eat any food because you're hungry. Because a lot of people are dying of diseases, are dying before their time because of the kind of food they're eating. You don't even know what you're eating. You are eating artificial food every day. You eat all kinds of things, processed food. A farmer eats from nature and enjoys natural organic food. I'm telling you, we are very lucky. If you are living in Iceland or tundra areas or cold, very cold, snowy area where they have not even seen land before, what would happen to you? Those people still depend on nature to survive. I want you to know that all the animals on earth live by farm, live from what is in the farm. That's what they live by. You also, you're an animal just like me. We should also live by the things that are in the farm. Listen, we have done much more than we can think of. We need you to come and join at no charge at all. Come and join us and feed the masses and heal the masses. There is no way you'll be eating organic food, you become extremely sick. Organic food is a great healer. It's a great healer. I'm telling you, we have done experiments. We have taken care of all terminal diseases within our environment. All we need to do in any sickness, one, let me tell you, so we are not novice. Remove the mucus, one. And if you don't know how to remove the mucus, we will teach you. If you remove mucus from human body, there will be no sickness. Two, oxygenate the body and alkalinize the body. And where do you get all these things I'm speaking? Get it from the farm. Get them from the farm. So if you need them, if you need us to treat you with our farm product, we treat you, we eat you, we treat how you can eat to health. Eat yourself to health.
Yeah. Let's go now to the comment section and take the comment. Charles Wally says, Mazi Patrick, please, I want to come back to downtown to go into agriculture. Please help me to get Professor CHINEDU AGBODIKE contact. What do you tell Charles Wally?
Where are you? Where are you? You want to come back? Where are you? Because you can start your farming where you are. We can teach you. You don't need to return here because you want to farm. If you are living within anywhere in your territory, we can just guide you. The land you have there, the small space you have there, start farming there. But if you want to come back for farming, we don't have a problem here. You can come, we'll train you, we'll guide you, you'll become a farmer. At your cost, of course. But we can also assist you in many ways. You can empower some youths, those who are very serious with this project. We can empower them if they will land free. We can also give you the crops, the seed and the seedlings, what you need to plant in the farm, and we'll provide a market for you. Whatever you're able to produce, we buy them off. Everything. So all you need to do is just farm. We will buy them and give you your money and help you to make sure that we continuously be receiving from you. It's a recycling system. It's a circle. Every farmer is needed, and every producer needs a farmer. Every marketer needs a farmer. Everybody needs everybody. That's how it is done.
Beautiful, Prof. People are saying, as Zeriadi said, your contact. Food blockade. You've said it before. What is your advice for our people on how to survive the food blockade right now? After you know that our farms have been destroyed, but you've been able to tell our people that you don't longer need to even go into the bushes. You can actually farm around the environment. So how do our people survive
You can farm within your environment, within your compound, within your parlor, provided sunlight. What I mean, your parlor or your dining room, the size of that your dining room, the size of your room is enough for you to produce farm products worth millions by empty bag system. So if there is food blockade,
Augustine is asking about ginger. You can plant ginger with
ginger. After some experiments, they found out that the best ginger in the world is growing from the southeast. So it's a big market too. After some training.
You can do them in your sandbags.
You can do them in sandbag. Yeah, you can do that. Everything is plantable inside sandbag. You can show them mango when planted inside banga. You can show them apples when planted inside sandbag, and they were able to produce inside sandbag. Nothing is impossible now. You can also show them the strawberries we're able to produce. But when you talk of tubers like yam, you can plant yam inside sandbag. But cassava, I would advise you plant it on another ground. You can show them the cassava because our cassava is so big that it needs 5 people to be able to lift it up off ground.
Beautiful, Prof. I think we've been on this issue of Foodism War Gladiator for over a year now. And I think we've done a lot educating our people for those who want to hear. And we are here for those who are interested in hearing. because at the end of the day, it's not meant for everybody. Prof.
What did you say? That it's not meant for everybody?
I said the program and the education is for those who want to learn.
Okay.
For those who want to learn.
Learning learning has no beginning, has no end. Nobody knows it all. Knowledge is dynamic, and you must keep learning. Everybody has to learn, and we cannot say that I have learned it or I have known it all. No, nothing is ended. You have reached the end. Learning has no peaks, so we still have to learn. Few years ago, nobody was talking of using empty 50 kg to plant. Nobody was using human urine to grow crops. Nobody was using earthworm liquid and earthworm urine to grow crops. Nobody was doing that a few years ago, but now we are doing that. And nobody was saying that a bundle of, one stick of cassava, that 5 people cannot lift it off the ground. Nobody was saying that some years ago. Now we are doing that. And nobody can say that some of the apple can grow in Africa. Nobody was saying that a few years ago. Nobody was saying that strawberry and grapes, English grape, can grow in Africa. Nobody was saying that, but now we're doing that. So farming and knowledge, they are all continuous process. They have no beginning, they have no end. You must continue to improve day by day, provided you don't tamper with nature. If you tamper with nature, it becomes GMO, genetically modified organism, and that will cause problem for the body. Those who can argue that can go ahead and argue that. But I keep on telling you that the most important thing the body needs, they are: 1, oxygen, alkaline, and what? To removing of mucus from the body. And the thing the body needs today, especially our body, is organic food materials, nothing more than that. We must continue to have organic food, because anything organic, that's all. Remember what I said, our body needs alkaline, oxygen, and removal of the mucus. And then the next thing the body needs is organic food, eating perhaps twice a day. So if you take inorganic food, you start having problem with the body. That is exactly what we're telling you. We don't need to create an environment where the body is struggling to survive.
Charles Wale, the link to this, if you want to join, you can check your messenger, your Facebook messenger. We have just less than 15 minutes to go. So Charles Wale, if you want to join the program, check your Facebook messenger and come in with the link and ask your question. We have Onyenwe Anosike. Onyenwe Anosike. Hello, Onyenwe Anosike, are you there? Onyenwe Anosike, I hope that you join us in this program. Are you there? Onyenwe Anosike.
Onyenwe Anosike.
Yes. Onyenwe Anosike, are you there? Are you hearing me? Onyenwe Anosike, if you can join us.
Yeah, he said he is joining from Delta State of Nigeria. He's a farmer and would like to be assisted financially. Before we can assist you financially, you need to, first of all, attend our training or invite us to train you. These trainings are free. Then we need to come and see the land you have. And if you don't have land, we need to monitor and give you land. We don't give people away actually physical cash per se. Rather, we guide you to make sure that you are there. From experiences we have had before, we want to make sure that you are actually your effort in the farms, either or farming. So that is empty bag farming. Is called it. We was talking about internal farming. Now we have internal and external farming. So that whatever we are assisting you should go farm, not to go for large big cars, white and traveling abroad and jamborees and the rest of them. We want to be assisting you for is meant actually to produce crops and to produce food for the masses. We train you free, but invite us to your environment. We will be there, and it is going to be at your cost. And then when we see that you are a willing and serious, honest person who will not disappoint us, who will face and help us to fight the looming hunger and the looming sicknesses and diseases coming upon us, to fight that hunger. That's why I call it Foodism War. We fight our enemy, which is hunger. And if we know that you have that zeal, you have that conviction, we now can assist you, but not to cash to go and put in your bank. No, we will bring the place and we'll get it done. The small money we're going to give is to pay the workers and the farmers, and that's it. And when you finish, we buy the products from you and pay you. That is exactly what we can do for you, but we cannot come and say, people say, give me 5 million and I'll produce rice. No, you can go to the bank, you can go to any government and ask them to give you 5 million, you produce crops. We want to see it, want to know what they are doing. So many people are today enjoying our finances, and they are doing well, and we are buying from them, and they're making waves everywhere. So we can't just say that there is money to throw away. We have money only to invest in the farm and the crops and other processing, packaging, marketing, or raw farming. And farming is not only for animals. The farm have crops, we have so many sorts of farming.
Keto Konko is asking, do you mix urine in the soil before planting?
No, what you do, when you get urine, maybe a day's urine, you allow it to ferment in that container for 4 days. After 4 days, it has fermented. Then you dilute it so much water that you will not perceive the odor or the taste of the syringe. Because I wouldn't be able to give you the measurements now, because I don't know the quantity of urine you are going to have. But the only test sample is for you to test it or smell it. And when the odor is no longer there, the water is enough. You use that water to water your crops, mostly cucumber, cabbage, watermelon, corn, and all those small greeneries like green, ogo, and the rest of them. You can use them to water them, especially during the dry season. Then you don't need any other manure. They will serve as the manure and they will produce fantastically. But then, if you need earthworm urine or earthworm liquid, that means you need to build a turret, a kind of 4 square something underground. You have to puncture it something like aluminum, and then put sand or different layers of sand and bring maybe 2 or 4 million earthworms. And the time you need to harvest them, you put some onion on top, and the liquid will drop out. You take the liquid, dilute the liquid, soak any seed of corn, remove germinate. It will beat the scientists that seeds germinate 24 hours. But it's not normal. Under normal scientific experimentation, seeds germinate in 4 days. But our own seeds germinate 24 hours. It germinates. And do you know why we allow the germinate outside? So that you can reduce the stress you give the plant. The less stressful they are, the better they produce. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The same thing we do to pigs, the same thing we do to our goats, and the same thing we do to our fish, the same thing we do to every other thing. Just like you, if you are overstressed, how do you produce? So those who are doing piggery, you are sure you have to build a house so that you take the position of the sun, where is the sun rising, where setting, and then in between the two houses, you must have plantain or banana and snail to serve as air conditioner, natural air conditioner for the pig. That way, the pig will be more fertile and produce. Actually, this is a place you can learn much more than you can read in your history, your agricultural books, or in your classes, or whatever they can teach you. This is practical. This is aborigine. This is original. This is not from any book. This is what we have done for 11 years, and we are coming out with new things that will make us become self-sufficient in farming.
Yeah, I think Prof is out, if I'm not mistaken. I think Prof is out as a result of network problem. And yes, Grace Okorie, Prof voice is cracking. You're right. I think he's out as a result of network problem. But I think we are rounding up this program for today. I will be able to tell our people to take the challenges that is before us, take the challenges before you, and contribute your quota to food production in our land. We cannot continue to Charles Wally, all you needed was to click the link that I sent you and follow that link to join the program. But by the way, we are rounding up, and we'll be seeing you guys next week, Friday, on this same program, Foodism War Gladiator. I will always come around by the special grace of God to anchor on this program. I want to say thank you very much for being part of this program. Thank you, Chigozie Nikki, Okorie, Grace Okorie, Charles Mwale, thank you very much. Ezere Adi, you can call in. Go to the Black and White Web TV and drop your messages on the messenger box there on Black and White Web TV, and I'll be responding to your questions. Go to Black and White Web TV private Facebook page and inbox me there. And I want to say thank you for being part of this program. Stella Obichimex, thank you. Obom Kelechi Patrick, thank you very much. Kate Okonkwo, thank you. Pius Augustine, I want to say thank you to all of you. I cannot mention all your names, but until I see you next week, Friday, I want to say have a wonderful evening and be security conscious if you live in Biafra land. God bless you all.
Baby, baby, mama, baby, mama, all my lips are yeah, my picky. Hey, many years ago, many years ago, I've been searching, I've been waiting all for you. I've been searching, I've been waiting. Sleep and wake up in the morning. God, you're on my mind. Walking down the road, I see you from a distance. I know how I feel. On my little world. It's been long time ago. All the love I got made me feel this way. My baby. baby. I wake up in the morning, all I feel is in you. I wake up in the morning, all I see is in you. It's been long, 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 long time ago. I've been thinking about you, there's not I know what to do. Oh, that's how I feel inside. Oh, many, 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 many years ago. Many, 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 many years ago. I've been searching, I've been waiting for you. I've been searching, I've been waiting for you. I've got this feeling in my mind, all is all for you. I've got this feeling in my mind, all is all for you. Sleep and wake up in the morning, all I feel is you. It's been a long, long time ago. I've got it so deep in my mind. It's been a long, long time ago. I've got it so deep in my mind. Many, many, many years ago. Many, many years ago. Baby. Baby, my baby.